I am here today with Anthony Appello. Anthony is the lead singer of Six Gun Sal. Six Gun Sal is an LA-based Southern rock band, and we're going to talk about that description. They released their second album, Rebels and Rogues, last year. They just released a cover of Nazareth's Hair of the Dog as their latest single from that record. And Anthony, man, it's great to have you here.
It's cool to be here, bro. Appreciate it,
man. Absolutely. Let's talk about the LA-based Southern rock band. I don't get to say that too much, man. That's pretty cool.
Man. Well, you know, brother, you're from wherever your heart's from, right? And we grew up all over the country, man. Like the Northeast, the South, some of us in California, some of us all the way in Jersey. So it's like we're from all over the place. And the one thing we all had in common is the kind of music we liked. And once we realized where we were going and what this was becoming, we kind of found our direction a couple of years into it of what we really wanted to become. Because, in the beginning of anything, man, you're all over the place. And,
sure,
we knew we wanted to do some Southern rock, but at the same time, we were doing some modern rock stuff. And we just kind of threw everything this into a crock pot. And then, the light just kind of went on a couple of years ago. And we said, you know what, this is the direction we need to go. And let's just be who we're supposed to be. And it doesn't matter if we're in LA or if we're in Florida or, Nashville, man. Let's do our music the way we think it should be.
That's great, man. It happens organically too. You can feel it in the music. This is definitely, the niche that you're aiming for, and you fit right in there. This is you mentioned finding your place. This is the second album. Rebels and Rogues is the first one, West of Heaven. Tell me a little bit about the beginnings there, because I noticed that some tracks aren't available, some are on the streaming services and things like that, and you redid some for Rebels and Rogues. So what was your place when you were doing West of Heaven?
Well, West of Heaven again, man, was a train wreck of different angles of music and motivations. And when we first started this, it wasn't even supposed to be a band. I mean, we were saying to ourselves, hey, we could probably make some music for soundtracks and music that tells stories. And that's why a lot of our music is story based, and again, it progressed into something more. But the original albums, we had all these songs we made, and we finally got to the point where we're like, well, what are we going to do with them? The movie they were supposed to go into, literally at the ninth hour gets canceled not from anything we had to do, but the investors that were part of that production that was getting down, they wanted to, buy our music and have our music in it. So it was pretty cool. I mean, our first thing we ever did was going to be in something, as a major release. But, as Hollywood is, it's a bunch of, I'm a hot shot until it comes time to put pen to, ink to paper.
Right.
There's a lot of fake out in this place. And, so then we just said, hell, man, let's just put it all out there as an album. We'll call it West of Heaven because, that was the one song on there that made sense. The West of Heaven, it's a little rocked out, whatever. And we did it. So, but you can hear Wasted Time is in there and, Coming Home. And, there's a few songs in there, I'd say 2 or 3 that definitely got a little more twang to them than the others. And, Remember My Name gets compared to, old metal all the time. And so, yeah, we were kind of all over the place, but we ultimately found the formula that works to where our music can still have a little bit of all of that, but the heart of it is based, in what we want to be, which is Southern.
Yeah. And it's great that I'm so glad you decided to do that too. Cause it's cool. And the videos, you guys look the part, you sound the part. It's you'd never know that you weren't from Mississippi as opposed to a Malibu. You know what I mean? It's you look closer to the Mississippi part, that's for sure, and the sound, which is of course what we're all looking for here. It sounds great. Great Southern rock band for sure. Now you released Hair of the Dog. Hair of the Dog, one of my all-time favorite records. The entire album. So I have to ask you, are you a fan of the record? I mean, it's from 75.
Well, the thing is that everyone's heard that song. It's world famous. it's a song in a ton of movies, and hell, even recent movies. You know, it's just a really cool song. And you know, so I knew the song. I wasn't a big fan of the album or anything like that. I mean, again, you know, it's, you hear Skinner, you hear 2 or 3 songs and that's it, but they've got hundreds, you know, and it's like, so the radio doesn't play everything. So you get the ones that the radio plays, those are the ones you listen to, and you know, you never really move further than that. But no, so we were fortunate enough to be introduced to Tim Eaton, who is a multi-platinum, you know, record producer. He has worked literally with every person on the planet that's an A-lister, and produced their music. So when we met him, it was kind of taken back a little bit, like, wow, this guy's the real deal, you know, like he's worked with everybody that we look at as heroes, you know. And he came to us and said, hey guys, listen, I've been, you know, following you a little bit. I like what I see. I like your sound. And I was going to go to a different band, and the band he mentioned was an A-list band. And so we were kind of looking at each other like, wow, that's a really big band. He goes, but I want you guys to do this song. And I think you guys would be perfect for this song, because the way you are, your attitude, your look, the way you think of the world, he goes, this would be a great song, and I have a great idea for it. And we can really turn this into something that will be Six Gun Sal. And then one thing led to another. And, you know, we went in there, knocked it all out in studio, did everything he wanted us to do. And then what he came back with was what you hear. And it was just an amazing something, you know, it just took my breath away. I was like, holy shit, that's us. Like, you know, like, wow. Like, I mean, I know we sound good, but, you know, once it was finished, it was incredible, you know?
Timothy Eaton, Greg Allman, 38 Special, Leonard Skinner. I mean, and I mentioned those guys because of what you guys are doing.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he knows Southern rock. He knows how to get that sound, and, you know, he's a master of that. Did he produce the whole record?
Yes, he produced the whole record.
Fantastic.
So, you know, again, man, all the parts in there are us. Everything is us, you know, but it's just the way he did it, man. It was incredible. You know, it was just, he was really a Picasso at what he was doing. You know, he knew exactly what to say, what not to do, and to get everything he needed out of me in the vocal box. And, you know, so yeah, it was pretty surreal moment. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And, you know, I mean, I hear, you know, everybody's heard Hair of the Dog. Like you say, it's just a classic, great tune. But you put a little bit of a different twist on this. It's not the Hair of the Dog that you've heard from everybody else. You know, it's got a Southern rock flair. It's got some little nuances vocally. And that's, you know, that's what I was looking for. When I saw that you had done Hair of the Dog, I'm like, okay, that's a great song, but I've heard it done a lot of times, you know. Let me listen to this, and it was different. It was the Hair of the Dog that I hadn't heard before. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, man, we threw a little Americana in that, and nothing wrong with being proud to be an American. And you know, it's what this country was built on, and we just really wanted to make it ours, and still have a lot of respect for the original version. You know, I mean, so yeah, man, I'm glad you dig it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. What got you into rock and roll? Do you have a Desert Island disc? You know, that one disc that just got you doing this?
I mean, for me, man, well, when you find out how I got into this, you're not what you think. But yeah, it's like you walked into a porno set by accident, and they said, "Hey, you want to be in the movie?" It wasn't quite so X-rated, but you know, my favorite rock and roll band of the time when I was growing up was easily Guns N' Roses. You know, I got their music, and you know, it was just something that I loved it. But it was weird, man, because like growing up, my family, I used to hear Motown all the time. I hear Motown. You know, but I also liked, you know, people like music like from George Michael's, man, Queen and stuff like that. I mean, I was very into the rap scene at the time when I was younger. And, you know, so I had so many different influences that were really pulling me in every direction. But at the time I had no interest in doing what I'm doing now, which is the funniest part, because, you know, I mean, the last time I had sang anything in my life in front of anyone was in like 8th grade chorus or 7th grade chorus. And I got kicked out of that because I guess I was a problem child. but that was it, man. I never sang, I never did anything. And I ended up going into law enforcement. You know, I wanted to be Ponch and John, man. I wanted to, you know, ride the motorcycle on the LA freeways until I found out that that's probably not the law enforcement agency I want to go with. It wasn't like it was on TV.
Yeah, and then
yeah, man. So
and you, I mean, you went from that to being a rock and roll singer.
There was a lot of in between too. Like when I die, when I take my last breath, I will know without a doubt that I did everything I ever wanted to do in this life. And that's super important to me. I always go back to being a Sagittarius, man. It's like, I am always needing a new mission. I'm always needing something to conquer. And, so I've been very fortunate, but yeah. So in a nutshell, from law enforcement to, you know, wearing the hat, growing the hair, the beard, and shaking my ass in front of people at the whiskey a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
That's great, man. That's cool. And, you know, not too many people can say that, you know, they're going to die doing, you know, everything they wanted to do. So that's pretty great. It's really great. You've done some acting. You've done mixed martial arts.
Yes.
You know, you've done quite a bit. Are you still active in any of those?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I still produce certain projects, you know. I mean, these aren't anywhere near high end, but you know, I definitely produce a lot of independent stuff. I act in a lot of it. I just got showered up from jiu-jitsu and MMA class an hour and a half ago. So I do try to stay active in everything that I do, everything that I love. As you can see behind me, this is, you know, just part of my my wall here. But but yeah, I try to stay active in everything, you know. But the music is definitely my number one focus right now. It's above and beyond everything else. I mean, I have lots of tools I could always fall back on, but you know, I'm one of those personalities where I hate to lose, and it's like, I've been doing this now for 7 years, and I'm just going to keep doing it because I do believe at the end of the day, we make a lot of people smile. People love our music, and we just love doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so true. You know, and I come as a fan into this, and, you know, I'm so thankful for people like yourself who are making music, and it changes lives. You know, my life wouldn't be the same without this, you know, all this music that just, you know, enriches my life. So, you know, there are people out there that appreciate what you do musically, for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
If you could sit down with somebody, any living person, right now, anybody on the planet, who would that be?
Any living person on the planet?
Yeah, have a conversation.
Man. That's a tough one, man. Holy crap. Don't want to go with all the norms. I don't know, man. I probably would. I'd probably love to bullshit with, you know, maybe Billy Gibbons, or you know, maybe Kid Rock, or you know, hell, man.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. Probably Billy Gibbons, man. Just you know, I dig ZZ Top. I think they're cool as hell, and he seems like a great guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and boy, there'd be some wisdom there from him too, I think.
Dude,
he's seen quite a few things. It's pretty cool. Now you mentioned producing films and things like that, and you started doing soundtracks. That's kind of how, you know, music and film. That's kind of how all of it kind of took shape. Are you still interested in doing any of that, music for film or television?
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. It's definitely a passion. I mean, and you know, ultimately the soundtrack thing wasn't even the absolute beginning. It was just Dustin calling me out of the blue saying, "Hey, you want to come over and play the drums for a little while?" So, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, man, let's go jam," because we used to jam, you know, years ago, and that's what turned in, because he asked me to sing something, and when I was leaving, and I said, you know, fuck you, man, I can sing, all right. And everybody started laughing. I grabbed the mic, I started singing, everybody stopped laughing, and we all looked at each other, and then we all started laughing again, and that's how the band started. But
cool.
But yeah, man, it's been pretty awesome. So
yeah, that's great. I'm glad for you, man. What's the ultimate gig for you? You're in LA. I know, I talked to guys in, the New Yorkers, it's all Madison Square Garden. That's the big thing. To play Madison Square Garden is the dream. For you, what is it? Super Bowl, some big
Again,
festival?
brother, I'm one of those weird ones, man. Like, of course we all want to, what would it be like to play in front of 20,000 people, man? But you know what? I am just as happy playing in front of 1,000 people 100 times a year who love what I do. And so, I don't need the Motley Crue Stadium, man. I don't. I mean, if it happens, fantastic, but for me, man, it's like, hell, 500 people, 1,000 people who are there because they want to be there to see us. That's the ultimate dream for me, man, is to do that all the time. 50, 100 shows a year to people that just want to see me and my music and my band and realize that we're cool fucking people, man. And we love hanging out and we love talking with people and we love doing photos and, we love just staying in touch with our friends and fans. So, I mean, that's for me, man, that's it right there. Like of course I'll, give me Madison Square Gardens. I'm going to have a Kool-Aid smile, Right. But in the reality of things, my happy place is just being surrounded by people who are there that really want to hear us.
Nah, that's great, man. I love the friendly band, man, and that it means the world to fans like myself. To spend time with fans and sign that autograph and take that picture. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Are you gonna? I mean, do you have more music coming? Are you writing?
Oh yeah,
all the time. What is the writing process
all the time? Bro, we have a fun way of doing it, man. I mean, we never sit down and go, hey, we need to write new songs today. It's, right. I can't tell you how many songs, current, past, and future now come from warming up to play the set. Somebody will just do some crazy funky riff and I'll be like, oh shit, keep doing that. And then, Dustin it'll either be Dustin starting it or Ed will do something. And I just keep going. Then Joey jumps in with the drums or whatever. And I hear it and I get out my phone and I just start typing lyrics. Like, that would be cool. That'd be cool. Wow. And then once I get one or two verses done, I'll jump back into it as they keep doing. And this is all happening within like 3 to 5 minutes. Like, right. I mean, I'm typing like a crackhead. Right. And the words always ultimately change. A couple haven't. A couple actually stayed the same from beginning to end, which was magic. But you always go back and say, oh, this will sound better if I say this word instead of that. But yeah, I mean, in 3 to 5 minutes, I've got a verse or two. They're just playing a warm-up riff. And then I tell everyone, all right, check this out. Keep playing. And I start singing. And then everybody goes, holy shit, we got a new song. And then boom, that's it. And that has happened, I'd say at least a dozen times, man. Like that. It's just, we call it our magic, man. And, we've had a lot of people come and go in this band. And we wish everybody well, man. We try not to hold any grudges with nobody, man. I never like to burn bridges. Neither does most people in the band. And, right. But it's like, we finally my point was we finally found that niche of guys and girls that fit together and we have fun together. We make music together. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. We still fight like freaking rabies fucking raccoons, but right. But we love each other at the end of the day, and that's what's important, man. And I think we put a pretty good product out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned playing the whiskey, back to that ultimate gig for you. That's got to be great. I'm here in Chicago, have not been there. The whiskey just holds, with Rainbow and that Sunset Strip thing, just holds so much mening for somebody like myself.
Oh, dude, it's Mecca. It's the Mecca of music. And, you're right. It's they don't call it world famous for nothing. And, you got the biggest bands on the planet that ever stepped foot on that stage. I mean, right. From the Doors to Van Halen, I mean, to Kiss, I mean, everybody has played that stage. And, I'll never forget the very first time I went there. I had the weirdest feeling come over me when I was standing on the stage because we had only been playing live shows, like 2 or 3 live shows before the whiskey. So I had never been on a stage like that. And I just remember looking around the room going, damn, so-and-so stood here and they stood here and the band was here.
Yep.
and it was the coolest feeling. Like I just got chills again because I would go back to that moment, and we played there several times since. I mean, we've headlined it twice now. Had a great time doing it, and the whiskey staff is just amazing. They really know how to take care of the bands. They really know how to make you feel like rock stars. And they try to go out of their way to make your night as comfortable as possible. But of course, the most important thing is the people that come through the door, man. And we had, as usual, I had an ocean of Six Gun Sal shirts out there, which was awesome. And the energy was amazing, and the people, and I had half a dozen people singing with the songs, and so it was just great. Yeah, so the whiskey is definitely a great spot, man. I do enjoy playing it.
Yeah, and that's a dream gig for a lot of people. So I mean, it's there's like you said, you played it many times. So very, very lucky, definitely.
Yeah. Well, living here has a big part to do with that. If we didn't live here, we probably only would have played it once or twice. But it's a great venue, and it's a beautiful venue, and it's just got so much damn history. So, and then the Rainbow got the best damn food in town. Let me tell you,
I gotta get there, man. I gotta get there.
Let me tell you, their Italian food is ridiculous. I mean, it is really some of the best. It's probably the best meatball sub I've ever had is at the Rainbow, and I grew up in New Jersey, so I know what I'm talking about. What Italian food, right? But it's the real deal, man. Pretty good stuff,
man. I'm getting there someday. I'm getting there for sure.
Yeah, brother, take that first step.
Yeah, for sure. How about you getting to me? Are you good? Do you plan to tour on the record? Any kind of tour plan?
Oh, absolutely, man. We're as a matter of fact, I mean, this entire past 2 weeks, we're just locking down locations. We're going to start the show off in Long Beach, California. It's probably going to be late June or maybe second week into July where we do our first show. So between that time period, that's going to be the kickoff. And then from there, we do plan on trying to hit Arizona, hit Texas. We're looking at Arkansas right now. We're trying to get some finalization for Tennessee. We've already secured Vermont, so we'll be going to Vermont again. We are looking at a possibility of 4 or 5 shows in the New York area, upstate New York. And then if all works out right, we were just contacted by our good friends in Northern Florida who found us 2 or 3 more venues. So, we're not going to go out there and do the 50 run, show that doesn't make sense. In this business, you have to be smart, especially when you're trying to make a living doing it, and be fair to the fans. Make sure that they're getting the most they can for their dollar, and that there's enough gas money to get home, especially nowadays. So
no doubt.
So we're trying to we're just trying to put together the trips to make sure they make sense financially and logistically. And hey man, if we got to do these trips 2 or 3 times a year to get 30 or 40 shows in, we'll do it. I mean, I don't mind being on the road. I love it. I have a blast.
That's cool.
The last time we were on the road last year, it was just nonstop stupidity and fun and just great memories, man.
That's how it should be, for sure. And not everybody loves the road. There's studio rats and there's road dogs, and it's it's good to hear that you like it out there. And it's a tough gig. I think a lot of people forget that being on the road and going from town to town is not an easy thing. So I see bands doing it. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I love it. And again, man, I don't want to sound corny or anything like that, but man, it's just when you hear that crowd, they're just screaming and they're screaming for you. You're the actual headliner of the night, or and you see your shirt and you see your shirts and somebody who lives 2,000 miles away from you. That's the coolest part of this, man. And that's what makes it all worth it. The money's cool, man. And of course we all want to make money, but again, at the end of the day, man, it's like someone out there right now is listening to, a song I wrote, or, when I say wrote, I mean, lyrics. And it's like, and that's the most incredible thing to me, is that someone out there right now is listening to a song that's either making them happy, they're working out, or making them feel better because they're sad off their ass, and it's just the coolest thing, man. So somewhere in the world right now, I know someone's listening to it, and that's cool.
Yeah, that is really cool, man. And the reach, what you're doing for people, it's a great thing, man. We appreciate you for sure. Anthony, thanks so much for your time, man. I so appreciate it. I hope you get out to Chicago or, somewhere close where, I can come see you and see the
Hey
show.
man, you know what, brother? It's as simple as if you got any spots you really like out there that you think will fit, man, just reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with our management, and we'll go from there, bro. I mean, hey man, if I could do every state in this damn country, I will. It's like, I just, again, man, it's about meeting the people and just getting a shit ton of photos with them and having a great time. But man, it was a pleasure meeting you. And anytime you want to talk, man, just let me know.
All right. I appreciate you, man. And you're always
All
welcome.
right.
You're always welcome.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good one.
You too,
Bye-bye.
brother. Bye-bye.